Welcome back to Lemonade Stand, everybody. I've been thinking a lot about a question.
Okay. What have you been
Do
thinking?
you guys think you would have done a better job if you were the Shah?
If
Like Iran?
Yeah.
like around what specifically? The Khashoggi thing?
No.
Oh,
That's different.
okay,
Hold on.
okay,
That's
sorry.
a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I would have done. I wouldn't have killed him. If I was the crown prince of Saudi Arabia,
Okay.
I wouldn't have
You
killed.
wouldn't have done it. I think
Wait,
that's-
I wouldn't have killed.
I'm revealing my ignorance here. I thought the Shah is Iran. Is this Saudi
Yes,
Shah
Arabia?
is
yes,
Iran.
you're
The Shah
correct.
is Iran.
He
Sorry,
just said
I was-
something that
Oh,
I'm sorry,
wow,
I went
okay.
off.
Saudi Arabia.
I think I'd be a
Okay.
better podcaster than the Shah because I'm still alive.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
well, there's a
props.
new Shah.
Props.
I still think
Well,
I'd be
I don't
better
think
than him.
He's not a Shah?
I don't
guy-
think he's called. He's not the Shah.
Hasn't dropped an
Right?
episode
Doesn't he
in
inherit
weeks.
He's the
the
Ayatollah.
Ayatollah?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the Shah?
What is the Shah then?
The Shah. In like the guy that like Britain and the US instated to rule over Iran after.
Oh, you're saying like Reza Pahlavi from back in the 70s.
Yes.
You would be do better than him.
You think you would have done a better job? I couldn't have been more clear.
Is that going to be the name? Okay, or you should explain how this is related to our hat. 'Cause
I've
we have
been,
a-
I've been
I'm sorry,
thinking
we've
a
got
lot
a wacky
about
bit for today's episode.
Imagine the way. Just think about what it's like to engage with issues in somebody else's shoes for once in your life. For instance, the Shahs. What it must have been like to read the New York Times way back then on his iPhone. And
what
then
are you talking about? What is this detailed specific thing about the Shah?
I'm explaining what we're
Okay,
doing this week.
all right.
This
Yes.
is leading up to.
This is
Okay,
leading
got
up
it.
to this.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Well, Aiden, I've never really thought about
Yeah.
putting myself in the shoes of the Shah.
Yes, just go.
What an interesting intellectual experience that could be.
This
And
week,
how would that relate to today's
And
show?
how would it relate
this
to a
week,
podcast?
we've decided
Yeah.
in an effort, in empathy, we have compiled a list of people and personalities that have been placed into this hat that we will draw before every story or topic we discuss this week. And we will have to engage and present that story as if we were that person. See the world through their eyes.
I do think there's some truth to this. We are three LA white podcasters, okay? All we give is through our news through our point of view. Now we're going to expand our horizons through this magical hat.
If there's a white podcaster in that hat,
And we change nothing.
and we changed nothing.
So here's how it's going to work. There are a bunch of things that we have all individually written. We don't know what each other wrote. Different characters and point of views. And we're going to draw them before every story. You will be able to see magically on screen what we are, but no one else will.
And then we'll see at the end of each story if we can guess what the other
what the
two
other person
people
was.
This is like Crossfire, from CNN. We're gonna finally get to hear. It's like Nick Fuentes and Hunter Biden did that
Yes.
interview with
That's
Channel
two
5. This is quite possibly in there. Both of those people, we don't know. So we'll do our best to give you the type of varied perspectives as seen through our poor improvisational skills.
Exactly, because we don't have the budget or time to get real guests with different point of views.
We haven't
So
had
we'll
a guest in a while. Yeah. We're reverting
we'll just
to
create
names from a
guests.
hat. Yeah. Okay. It's good.
I like it. All right, so
Our first story is a knee slapper. Saudi Arabia is getting nukes. Aiden's going to be introducing this story, but first let's see our
Let's
characters.
Wait, do we?
We each pull one.
you pull one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we each pull one.
Oh, but if you have your own, throw it back. Aiden, what's going on? What is going on with nukes in Saudi Arabia?
Nuclear power is very important, I think. There's a lot of potential
I agree.
to our future modern world. So
I agree.
I'm going to give you guys the story, and then I'll give you my opinion about it after.
I'm happy with that.
nuclear has a lot of potential that we're going to get into.
Okay, so the U.S. announced a new nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia this past week. And I want you to travel back in time with me for a second. We're going to go all the way back to 2009. And the Obama administration is in charge, and they negotiate a nuclear deal with the UAE at the time. The UAE wants access to U.S. companies, uranium, and process knowledge to create nuclear power in the UAE.
Okay.
But what comes with that when you make nuclear power is you need to enrich uranium to like a 2 or 3%, 2 to like 5% point in order to have nuclear power. Because of this, because you can continue to enrich uranium to make it maybe a bomb,
Okay.
There's concerns from the international community, naturally. So in those deals, the U.S. requires certain like international or independent inspections, and they had the most strict requirements for those inspections when they made that deal at the time.
UAE has a lot of rich people. I've met some of them.
Yeah.
These are wealthy, smart men.
Do they speak Arabic in the UAE?
Yeah.
Not really a fan. Statistically, I'm not really a fan.
Okay, I'm not checking Netanyahu off the list.
Now,
Just statistically, I just
the process of uranium enrichment is really
Don't wanna hang out with them as
is
much.
really difficult. Basically, you're taking a bunch of uranium that's like uranium 238 and 235, and you're figuring out a way to separate the 235 out from the 238. And the 235 is the radioactive stuff that you can actually use for like nuclear power, nuclear weapons, and that's a really, really watered down explanation of how enrichment works. And basically, you want to make sure that the enrichment doesn't go to a high enough percentage that it can become a nuclear weapon. And that's like what the
Iron
oversight
Man
is.
did. He made some amazing stuff.
that's
Is he?
Iron Man, I just have a lot of respect for somebody like that.
So, as more and more, there's other countries in the world that have wanted access to these similar resources and access to nuclear power, including Saudi Arabia. And during the Biden administration, we were well along into a deal where we were trying to negotiate a deal with the similar safety parameters that also required
when you say we.
the U.S. government.
Okay.
I care a little less about the government, more like individuals that I can trust.
Right.
Like the Saudi princes, these are good people. They've got a real sharp mind for the future. I like what they're doing in terms of spending it. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would. Okay.
Sorry, they're just a little off-putting to me. And I just don't put me in. Don't lump me in with America.
And Saudi Arabia wants access. I'm so curious.
Just a simple request.
Saudi Arabia wants access to nuclear power, and part of the deal at the time was not only
I do
these
like nuclear
restrictions.
power. I just like
But
it.
you don't like Arabic and you don't like America, maybe?
I'm just not American, and I don't like appreciate. I don't like called we. Okay?
Right,
So
right.
just please
Okay.
continue the story. I'm sorry. You're saying
So what I am saying
I'm
is
very polite. There's another thing you should know about me.
you keep interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
We're close to a nuclear deal with them at the time that has these same safety restrictions that we had required in deals with like the UAE, and also required Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel as a
That
state.
was part of the
Yeah,
it was part of the deal.
Part of the deal at the time, and we were getting close to closing that deal. The U.S. was. And then October 7th happens, which totally derails that this was going to happen. And then Trump last week announces a new deal that no longer had the same degree of oversight into the enrichment process. So basically, we're giving you, all these like resources, process knowledge, access to U.S. companies, access to uranium, and then we're not really that concerned with like how much you enrichment. We're taking you more at your word that you're not going to turn this into a weapon, and we're giving you access to nuclear power, supposedly. Wait, I think
don't like that Trump guy.
I know who
I
you
don't
are.
like Trump. I don't like him.
And
Okay.
the reason this deal came under a lot of scrutiny is one, a lot of people are concerned about the safety not being followed through with. Like Saudi Arabia can potentially develop a nuclear weapon. This is a country in the region that has been historically opposed to Iran. So Iran doesn't want them to have access to this. This is also something that Israel doesn't want them to have access to. Israel wasn't happy with this. And then a few days later, Trump walks back the announcement of this deal and says that in order for it to move forward, Saudi Arabia has to sign the Abraham Accords, which also acknowledges the existence of the state of Israel. And that has put a total stop to this all of a sudden, even though it was supposedly like negotiated and finished. So that's where we're at right now. It's like there's a bunch of criticism with how this went through. For people who are critical of this deal, they're now relieved because it's no longer proceeding because of this reason. And I gotta say, I am a huge fan of nuclear power historically. We gotta be careful. We wouldn't want to get turned into crazy weapons. But I would trust
Can
some.
we raise taxes somehow? Just to help this out?
No. People like Saudi Arabia or Trump or others are the most efficient capital allocators. I think we can agree that sort of the people who've been the most successful in business should be the ones deciding these things. And ultimately, what we're going to need for the best technology for the future is a lot of power.
You think the Saudi Wowdies are the most efficient at allocating
Some
capital?
of the ideas I have in mind for my next business venture are going to need a lot of power. A lot
I love
of
meatballs.
power.
Meatballs.
Who the fuck are you?
And I love
what are you?
super high taxes, but boy, am I happy. I'm the happiest dude you
Are
could
you just
ever
an
imagine.
Italian? Who are you? You don't like
I
Arabic.
hate Italians. I think.
I don't care about your opinion. You're small and puny. I am looking at big picture things, which is, frankly, I don't care if the nuclear weapon, if it turns into weapons. I'm going to live forever.
I know who both of you are.
Are these yours?
I know who both of you are.
Who are we?
Wait.
Okay, no. I want to ask you more about. Wait, so
Yeah,
what
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
do you think about this nuclear program?
Well, I'm as pumped as I am about nuclear. As pumped.
That's a
Because
cool thing to be, by the way.
It's
That's a cool thing. Even I think that.
because
I think it's
many
cool.
people are needlessly critical of nuclear power, and they're usually wrong, even about the history of their own country, like Germany. They usually young Germans are very wrong about the history of like the Greens' impact on nuclear power.
Are you just Atrioc?
Can't wait to live with you. Can't wait to live with you.
You're a Swedish man. You're a Swedish man.
You don't like Arabic?
And you're
Well, famously, they've been very anti-immigrant.
That's true. That's true. Wait. Atrioc, what can you guess? Because this is Aiden's.
Are you Elon Musk? Are you
Close. I'm a transhumanist billionaire who wants to live forever in a machine.
close?
yeah.
Okay, wait. Quick on the story. I just want to make sure I understand, honestly, for real, because we did do a little bit, and it was kind of hard for the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I want to understand. We were going to give the UAE nuclear enrichment.
We were going to give Saudi Arabia. We already did. We
The
made
UAE
it.
would already
the
happen?
UAE is an example of a deal that happened a long time ago. Saudi Arabia wants to follow suits, but the difference is there's way fewer like restrictions and oversight in how the uranium can be enriched in Saudi Arabia in this deal.
In the original deal, there was a lot of oversight.
Yes.
And now, in a sort of desperation act, you're saying that Trump is removing the oversight just to get the deal passed, but they have to recognize Israel.
Because he likes making deals.
He loves making deals.
Yeah. And this looked like it was going to go through, and it had a bunch of criticism because of the lack of restrictions and oversight. The idea is that, because of this, even obviously Saudi Arabia at their word is saying they're not going to develop a nuclear weapon.
Where I'm from, the sun goes down at 2 p.m.
I just don't think we should raise taxes.
I just think we should raise taxes a lot.
We need a few more of those plants.
All right, next story. It's about Netflix. Big company going through some tough times in their stock. It's about a corporate retreat gone wrong. This is Kevin Bailey. He makes $1.1 million a year as a Netflix executive. And I want to ask you this is a great time to ask you guys what you would do. Okay, so you guys are at a corporate retreat and it's a trust and wellness exercise.
Do we have guest speakers or like maybe a presenter like BTS?
No?
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, BTS is not there. No. So you're at a corporate wellness retreat and they say, we're going to do a trust exercise where everybody can just be honest with each other so we all become closer as an executive team. Okay? And they ask you to reveal, like, what's your biggest, darkest secret or something you're uncomfortable about. Okay? I don't know if you, and I don't know what you guys would do in that situation, but, there's a bit of a risk because it's a corporate environment. So Kevin Bailey here.
And I do like corporate environments.
Okay.
You do.
Okay. You do. So this is Sendero Ranch is where they're
Sometimes
at.
corporate environments, friends are like family, really. Your coworkers.
That's what they want. That's what
I
they're
think
going
they can
for.
rejuvenate a stagnating economy.
Okay, but this is just Netflix.
You know what I would say
So
to
it's
that
not really
answer?
rejuvenating any economy. This is just Netflix.
Okay.
Okay?
I would say
I'm
there's a
with you.
part of me
Yeah.
inside
I
that
don't
I've been
know-
scared to show my
Okay.
friends and family, but maybe one day I'll learn to accept myself and they'll love me for who I am.
Okay, so you are similar to Kevin in this situation.
cool.
So Kevin has a dark
He loves
secret.
BTS.
Which is that, no? No, he doesn't love BTS. He has a dark secret, which he uses ketamine to cope with his mother's death, which is really not a problem. But he says it in the Netflix. They ask him for his dark secret. He says it and they say it's trust and safety. No worries here. And then he finds out that after the retreat, he's charged with like drug use by the company. And then they fire him. They fire him because of what he said during the trust exercise at the wellness retreat. So he is now in a rampage lawsuit against the company.
That's the worst, to be vulnerable about who you really are, and people don't even respond positively. Sorry, go ahead.
A man keeps it close to the vest.
He didn't. He didn't keep
And he
it
made a
close.
mistake. And which is rare for corporate executives.
No, you're right though. Honestly.
I
You're
would-
right.
I would-
It's rare for these fucking corporate executives to do anything of fucking value, to be honest. That's just what I think.
I mean, you say that, but I watched this movie where one of the kind of
Movie?
like managers of,
What, you paid money to a fucking corporate shill so they could keep you sitting in your seats consuming slop?
I mean, to be honest, it's Netflix.
Wake up.
Dude,
Wake up.
have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
No.
So the manager.
Have you read? There's a lot of
is
things
like
you
a
could
really
read.
good
Actually,
guy.
some
He's like
reading I would
family.
love you to get on. Some reading some literature.
Is there more to this story?
No, there's actually no more to this story. The story is that he's currently in an ongoing lawsuit with this corporate machine where he opened up one aspect of his real life and then was shot down by these fucking skinwalkers in suits.
I just feel like, I mean, you come down, but he could be golden. If he's just honest with his friends and family about his ketamine use.
Dude,
Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
who is talking?
No, have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? It's
No,
a beautiful redemption.
I haven't seen it. Have you woken up and broken your chains? Okay, unshackle your chains.
I like your passion.
Okay.
I like your passion. I'm wondering here because is this a civil suit? Is this a criminal trial? Is the government stepping in here in any way?
In no way is the government stepping in here, although they should.
The government should step in.
The government should step in. Honestly, Netflix should be nationalized.
I would argue
And
that
then
it's terrifying to hear something like the government is here to help. That's not really what it's for.
it's not terrifying. It's actually awesome. The government should be stepping in at all points and should nationalize Netflix. And that would stop crimes like this from happening.
You're starting to sound like a commie.
You got me.
You're just literally communist?
Yeah.
Wow, early snipe. Great job, Aiden.
Hardcore communist. Are you just a guy that's seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
Guy who has only seen one movie and relates everything to that. And I feel like if he's just honest with his friends, they'll come together and they'll perform at the
I haven't
concert.
seen K-pop Demon Hunters. So I
Oh
couldn't-
my God. You've got to see K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters. Everything can basically come back to the messages learned in K-pop Demon Hunters.
Now I gotta wonder because this exec seems like he's probably a good guy. He
Uh-huh.
might have made a mistake. What sort of has there been any trickle down effects?
Are you Ronald Reagan?
I'm Ronald Reagan, parentheses, loves trickle down economics.
Wait, is there any story other than this guy got reprimanded for ketamine?
He didn't get reprimanded. He got fired.
He got
Yeah.
fired?
He got fired.
Yeah, but is there anything else?
I mean, no, not really.
Is this related? Okay, this is an actual follow-up to this.
Okay.
Because didn't their share price is going through like a historic fall off right now,
I
right?
mean, yeah, I could tell you what's going on with Netflix as a company, but
Does
I
that
thought
have
this-
anything to do with this?
no, it doesn't have anything to do with this. No, honestly, their revenue growth is just slow. But okay, I think it's an interesting story in that the guy opened up at a retreat and they literally fired. That's a crazy.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
I mean, it's not much more to
He's
it. But
prompted and then wait, is anyone shared what he shared at the retreat?
no, the ketamine use.
Oh, it was that he did the ketamine.
Yeah,
Okay.
he shared a vulnerable moment that he's been using ketamine since his mom died, and then they fired him when he got back to the office.
Brutal.
You know, it's worth. I'll give all steel man for ketamine
Yeah,
here.
I know.
I was so locked into Ronald Reagan that I thought you meant that he answered the question while on ketamine.
No, he wasn't on ketamine at the thing. Anyway, his lawyer, I guess I can tell you a couple more. His lawyers found every single instance of his boss drinking at a work event to show that like this is an insane double standard.
Wait, dude, this is so okay. So for people who are not aware, ketamine is now like prescribed for people with anxiety, depression, all sorts of things. This is
disgusting.
This is like a common thing now. Yeah, a lot of people do it. It is surprising to me. Like if he was like, guys, I'm doing like black tar heroin at work to cope with my mom's death, I would get it. Kind of. It's like ketamine though.
Well, okay. Also, here's the real question: do you think he should be allowed to say anything in the trust and safety circle?
You think so? I mean, like, okay, yes, you should be able to, right? You should be able to tell your friends you're actually half demon, but but I would never actually believe that at Netflix they would keep that secret. That's like,
and you're right. I mean, you're right. These fucking corporate shills, you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. I 100% get it.
You think the ketamine should be given back to the means of production?
Yeah. Well, yeah, 100%.
Each ketamine of his means.
I think everyone should have as much ketamine as they can.
As they can eat. All right.
Personally consume. All right.
Story three.
Next story 3.
Next, we're going to talk about autonomous vehicles in London.
Dude.
Turns out that there's many people in this hat who probably don't have a lot of good opinions about these news stories or relevant opinions. All right. Hey, you know what's cool? There's a battle going on in London right now. All right. It's a tragedy. It's called the Battle of Berlin. No, what was the World War II? All right, real quick for a joke. What was the name of the bombing in World War II?
The Blitz
of London. Was that it? Was it just called the bombing?
Yeah, right. The Blitz of London.
No, okay, whatever.
I mean, many people call it many things.
Okay, all right.
I mean, there's a battle going on in London right now between the regular people and the millionaires and the billionaires.
That's right. Really? You're going to drop the accent right away? Wonder who that could be.
You Bernie without the fucking accent. How can I do it without the accent? Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys my pitch, and then the core details here, and then I'll let you know what I really think. Okay. Mm-hmm. In London, autonomous vehicles, they're finally starting to launch, and there's a battle going on between 3 major companies. First off, Waymo, talked about a bunch. They're the dominant ones in the United States, and they started testing in April of this year. So they got like 100 cars. It's in a small area in London. Still have drivers, so they're in the testing phase. And it's their first international market alongside Tokyo. This is Waymo trying to expand outside the U.S.
Okay.
That's player number 1. Player number 2, Uber and Wave. In June, Uber said they're going to enter soon. Wave is a UK company that makes the software for self-driving cars, kind of like Applied Intuition, where they're not making the car, but they're making the software. Uber's invested in them, so those two are going to pair up. It's actually Wave makes the software, Uber makes the taxi app, and then Ford is making the car. They don't have an official date, but again, a month ago, they're like, hey, we're going to launch in the coming months. We're just waiting on the regulatory approval. You'll be able to use the Uber app. And now, as of today, the third contender has begun testing. It is Lyft and Baidu who teamed up, which I was not aware of. Baidu is the biggest Chinese autonomous vehicle player. So they have essentially Uber, Waymo in China. They're about the same size as China. They're in 20 cities. They're huge. And Baidu makes all of their own stuff. They're the only company in this list that is making the car and the software and the app. So I guess a year ago, Lyft and Baidu partnered up, and they're like, hey, Lyft, you will manage Baidu's robo-taxi hubs in certain spots in Europe. So they're starting to test right now with drivers, and they're also pending on regulation. So now you have 3 players all in London right now, kicking off testing, waiting for the London government to give the okay. And this is basically the kickoff for Europe. And, whoever can dominate probably dictate a lot of their success around Europe. Up until March, a couple months ago, the UK government was doing a call for evidence. That ended, and now in May, they said applications are open. You can go see these on the UK government. But right now, it was supposed to kind of be like all cleared up, and they were going to give companies the okay, and instead, they are still waiting and doing their thing. They're taking a long time.
I mean, I imagine the London cabbies would be upset about this transition that is potentially automating away their jobs, but at the same time, the pros and cons of the different companies launching at the same time, competing against one another, there's a lot to consider here.
I just think the working class needs a voice. They need a voice of the regular people, And I think that these big companies are trying to take away jobs from the regular average worker.
I think that's a good point. And I just think the sort of sniping and name calling that's been going on, ultimately, it needs to stop. Now check out this drive. And 9/11 was bad.
Wait,
My God, it exploded. The bottom of the
What do you think, Bernie?
This is,
Bush?
dude, this is, if you're an audio listener, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I feel like you have a strong message, and I appreciate that about you because you go back to it a lot. But I think you are quick to criticize technologies that could have long-term advantages and disadvantages. And it's really hard to say what could be good or bad about them.
What the fuck are you? Well, so if I were to tell you that I really think that the millionaires and the billionaires are the problem, and
I think there's problems with them,
okay, so you agree,
but I think there's a lot to consider.
but do you agree?
I agree, but also disagree.
What about these major tech companies coming
Yeah.
in? Maybe about
Right.
taxi drivers losing jobs, which
Yeah,
is obviously
taxi
a
drivers, it's
huge
a big-
part
I
of
mean,
it.
it's a big
you
thing.
have to feel for the taxi drivers that are losing their jobs.
Okay.
But you also have to be sympathetic to the advantages that this technology could present to the city, the efficiency at which people would move around, the alternatives.
Right, but what
to
do
the
you think?
Aging
What do you
modern
think?
subway.
What do
You
you
fucking
think?
fence sitter. What do you think? Is that yours? It's fence sitter?
I think that we need to consider all of the possibilities because it is nuanced.
Okay, wait. No, let me give you a couple fun bullet points here.
Because ours was easy, so
Yeah,
Let me give you a couple fun bullet points, and then you keep giving feedback.
Right.
Okay. First off, Uber.
Why don't you read a bullet point and
Yeah.
then ask me if I think it's good or bad?
Okay. Uber, right? They're fighting against the three players: Uber, Baidu, Waymo. And what's crazy is that Uber is also partnered with their rival Baidu.
Yeah.
Baidu, who runs their own app, in 2025 partnered with Uber to operate robo-taxi services in the Middle East and Asia, plus the other big three Chinese AV companies. Uber has partnered with all of them and has agreed that they're going to run some of the app section of these cars. What do you think about that?
It's hard to say.
Oh my God. Why is it hard to say?
Well, you just introduced so much nuance that I wasn't familiar with before, so I need time.
He's
to-
nuanced. He's nuanced guy.
Mr.
Everything's
Nuance?
nuanced. Everything
Wait,
is
hold on.
nuanced.
Let me give you two more fun bits, okay? Uber is also partnered with their rival Waymo. Uber and Waymo are also partnered together. Waymo's cars, you can order them in Phoenix, Arizona, and then also like in Austin and Atlanta. Waymo got added in some
Through
place.
Uber.
Through Uber.
There must be advantages and disadvantages.
I love asking the funny question. Wait. Characters aside, I want to understand the story. I need to understand. Are you just telling me that every self-driving car company is becoming incestuous in all the major cities of the globe, or what?
Particularly Uber,
Okay.
but yes, this big competition is heating up in London, while simultaneously they're all partnering with each other in other markets around the world.
So they're fighting in the ones they could compete in, and the ones where Uber.
I guess they're like picking battlegrounds. I mean, that's Uber's thing right now. Like they are not making any cars. Neither is Lyft. But I think the real thing to consider here is Aiden's opinion on Baidu's strategy, the Chinese
What do you
maker.
think about what Baidu's doing?
It's so beautifully complicated. So it's really hard to say. Could we wait for it to play out?
Do you have
Maybe.
do you have hobbies?
Hobbies?
Do you think you like?
I think I have trouble. I do enjoy things, but then I think about the things I don't like about them. And so it's really hard to
insightful.
come to
That's really
anything
insightful.
clear.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I am professional fence sitter. I have no idea.
I am guy who refuses to give hard opinion on anything because it's nuanced.
See, if we didn't have that on this show, people wouldn't get a balanced perspective
Yeah,
on things.
exactly.
I appreciate you
Exactly.
being here,
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Nuance.
You were George Bush?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure.
No,
You
check
said
out this.
9/11 was
Yeah,
bad.
check out this drive.
But you also planned it, so it's like tough to figure out what that is.
The autonomous vehicles are wild, though. This is a weird little, as you said, incestuous thing.
Yeah, it's a weird story. I don't know who's gonna win. Honestly, the Chinese ones being thrown in is kind of weird.
It's really weird that Baidu, who is doing everything, is also partnering with like Lyft and Uber to have them run the platform when they have a platform app that is working in China. So it's really strange to see how they're kind of fighting. But, arguably whoever kind of kicks off in London successfully will have a major foothold and advantage across Europe. But maybe they'll keep partnering with each other. I don't know.
Like what isn't taxis like a massive industry in London? Like they have a big. I wonder what they're doing to fight.
Yeah, I guess I don't know specifically. I mean, something that we said in our Applied Intuition episode is I think what's more exciting about autonomous vehicles is consumer autonomous vehicles, both because that's where you get the biggest safety benefits and you're not taking, you're not like attacking what is a huge industry for many, many people. So, I mean, it'll probably get pushback from the public as well once it starts running. But again, all these companies right now are testing.
From all this automation taking jobs and putting money in the hands of the millionaires, and of course.
Now check out this drive.
Of course, the billionaires. All right, a new one.
Next story. Oh, we got a fun one. Ukraine strikes Iranian ship.
Dude.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. Okay. Aiden, what the heck's going on over there?
Okay, so I'm just going to tell it like it is first.
Yeah.
From what I know. So an interesting development in, one of two wars in a way, or maybe an update in two wars at once. Ukraine struck an Iranian cargo ship, killing one person, one Iranian on board of the cargo ship. And
one ship?
It was one ship in the Caspian Sea. It was
America
transporting
strikes way more ships than anyway, go ahead.
We be striking.
I don't care, but yeah, sometimes we have to do some things to protect the country.
I just don't think it's like one ship is a big thing to brag about, but sorry, go ahead.
So Ukraine strikes this one Iranian cargo ship in the Caspian Sea, and it was transporting military equipment to Russia. Now, the brief fallout since it's happened is Iranian officials have threatened retaliation, basically saying like this is a break of the UN charter for this to happen. And Ukraine, in kind of response, is like, you have no standing to be a victim, given that you're supporting Russia in a war with us. And I think while this seems small scale, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Russia, since the invasion of Ukraine, has been using a lot of cheap and effective drones, a lot of which come from Iran. And Ukraine has also recently now been assisting the Gulf states defend themselves from Iranian drones because of the experience that they have gained through the war, offering their services and knowledge in combating drones to the Gulf states that are now.
Do you think we had to go to war though?
Which one of the two, Ukraine, Russia? We
can't let Iran get a nuclear weapon. It's like. I don't like the guy, but we had to do that.
Right. This boat didn't have nuclear weapons on it.
Well, it's part of the larger war.
Part of the whole thing.
I don't even care, but I'm just saying we had to. this war had to happen.
Well, you might find this interesting. Then Ukraine today, Zelensky is meeting with Trump. It might actually be happening while we're recording with this, and it's. Because of this attack, it's seen as Zelensky's opportune time to potentially tie Trump back into the Ukraine and Russia war, to give Ukraine more support from the American side because of this supposed alignment in the conflicts. And this is an example. Iran is supplying Russia with drones and military equipment.
Trump is tying in more with Zelensky?
No, Zelensky wants to convince Trump of the relevant ties between these two wars in order to gain back American support for the Ukrainian side.
And what does Trump think?
And the argument, they are having a meeting today. I think it's literally happening while we're filming this episode. And it hasn't happened yet. But the argument from a Zelensky position is that look, Russia is giving Iran intelligence on American targets in the war that's unfolding for you guys. Iran is supplying military aid to Russia in the war that we have. We are relevant allies to each other still, especially now since the Iran war started. Please, provide us with the support.
Did he?
I could convince Trump better than that.
They
You fucking give him like a gold drone and he'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, no, you're right. We should definitely support. Give him a gold nuke. I don't know.
Can I be real with you? I mean, regardless of the situation, I don't think these three dumbasses know what they're talking about.
Which three dumbasses?
And I stay tuned in to let them know that.
How tuned in are you?
I'm tuned in every week. I watch plenty of news. It usually comes from just this show, actually. And
I have.
And I gotta say, you guys
at all time watching all news channels.
You were talking about Trump and saying some shit about gifts. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm saying I could do a better deal than Zelensky. Convincing Trump is not that hard.
To be clear,
Well,
Zelensky.
okay, I mean, I don't like the guy. I'm not gonna stand here and defend him. But
I don't like him even more.
He's pretty good at deals. Like he's done a lot of good deals for this country.
Dude, I actually have no idea who you are. Are you just like, like Jared Kushner?
I have no idea who anybody is.
That's tough.
And they're all balding.
Did Zelensky wear a suit? Did he wear a
I've
suit?
got no hair. Aiden.
You've got no hair. You've got no hair. You have the least hair, and you're fat.
Could be two people. Could be Aiden or a commenter.
And to be honest with you, I don't think I actually listened to any of the news that was presented to me in the previous 30 minutes.
I've never listened to any news. I weigh 800 pounds.
I have no fucking idea who Doug is. I don't know.
I didn't even read the paper. I've got no idea, man.
I just think people need to give our president more of some respect. Honestly, it's an important office.
I think we should make love to him.
Okay, I'm actually on board with that a little bit.
I'm more on board.
I'm actually on board with that a little bit.
My username on Reddit is lazy-dictionary. And I don't think the show knows what it is, but I do like talking about it.
You're a commenter. I don't know who Doug is. Okay.
I have even less of an idea than you do.
Who did you vote for? Because I'll be honest with you, I'll say it. I voted for Trump in the last election.
I voted for him twice. I'm guy who has to one up everything.
That's really funny. I never would have guessed that. Wait, are you?
I'm not political.
You guys kept saying
You're not
things.
political?
I'm not political. I'm not. To me, politics is a waste of fucking time.
It's interesting because a lot of your answers
I'm
feel
not
political.
political.
Yeah, you're talking about Trump.
Yeah, I voted for him. I think he's doing a good job, but it's not. I don't care. It's not a big deal. Politics is not something I care about.
Are you a Gen Z male?
I'm guy who's not political, who's extremely MAGA.
Who's extremely MAGA.
Yeah, I'm not political guy who's extremely kind of a tough one.
Jesus Christ.
Do we understand the story? Wait, I'm going to try to understand the story.
Recap.
Actually, wait. This story is kind of fucking crazy on a real level because it literally is like soft beginnings of World War III.
It's crazier than that.
Nah, it's chill.
No, so Ukraine, Ukraine sunk. I didn't realize they had the capability to sink boats right now. That's crazy.
No, they've been sinking all sorts of boats.
I didn't
against Russia.
I think in my brain, I've been stuck in the Ukraine is mired in this war with Russia, not like they have naval capabilities or naval striking capabilities.
It's probably drone, right? I don't know if you know, but
I don't know.
But the point is that Ukraine is striking Iranian ships, and now this war has. It's like if Iran has Russia and China as proxies. Mm-hmm. And America is proxy with Israel and I guess Ukraine. I mean, we're getting back into them. I heard the deal went well. I heard the talk. I was doing the character earlier, but I heard that the meeting has happened and Zelensky said good things about it.
Yeah.
About US involvement.
So I don't know what was in the talk at all yet. But the supposed line is that Zelensky is positioning himself to get US aid back and capitalize on this time in the Ukrainian war where it's going well. Basically, like, here are the reasons that we should be supporting one another because you're involved in this other conflict that has a bunch of crossover. Give resources back. And at this time when we have seemingly have Russia on a bit of the back foot.
Better chemistry.
Yeah. I mean, I got to read this
No,
like
that's
right
what
after we're done recording.
I heard kind of the angle on it is that the U.S. Ukraine has been doing a lot better, and so U.S. is kind of jumping more back on the ship now that it's like,
Because they want
I mean, Trump would love like a wartime good news.
yeah,
you know?
like something that is a win.
And even,
I mean, imagine if he gets to, I'm not saying that it's definitive of whether or not they could get through this like with or without the US. I'm not like a fortune teller, but if he's hopping on this train where things are looking good already, and then he gets to be the guy that says the US like ended the Ukraine-Russia war during this
I
time
just feel like
period.
no one will give him credit for it. I feel like he'll do all that great work, and then, you know, I don't want to say like libs.
And the left doesn't give him
won't
credit.
give him any credit, and it's just weird. Like I don't give a shit. Like, it's not a whatever. Everyone's got their own opinion.
You seem like you give a shit. You come on the show every week and you say you don't give a shit, and
It's like I don't care.
And
It's
this is
like
why the
everyone
show
can think
sucks.
what they want. I just think he should. No one gives him an ounce of credit. Everyone wants to jump on his throat for every little thing, and maybe he's making some real progress to save this fucking country.
I think we
that
have
Joe Biden threw in the fucking dirt 4 years ago.
we have
Sorry.
one more story.
Okay.
We have one more story where we all get to pull one more thing.
Okay. All right. All right. We're running out of characters, and we still have a lot more stories to get to, but we'll do it for this one. I want to talk about what's going on with eBay. This is a long-running story. To be clear, I've heard about this story for years and years now, and it finally has a resolution, so I want to talk about it. This is Ina and David Steiner, seen here in their old age.
good traditional Americans.
They are actually, I think, a nice couple. This is them back in 2002 when this all started. They ran a little blog in the early days of the internet called E-Commerce Bites, where they talked about selling things online. And they would write little blogs talking about the challenges and tribulations of selling things online. And again, you can't see it here, but I'll scroll it up. They had like 43 comments on these things. It's not like insanely popular, but it was a decent blog. Separate story. eBay around this time is founded, and eBay has this on their website called their 5 core values. We believe people are basically good. We believe everybody has something to contribute. We encourage you to treat others the way you want to be treated. These are core values of the eBay company that are on the website at the time. Now, if you look at the website now, this is gone. This is gone. Take down during this lawsuit. Anyway, go back to these guys, Ina and David Steiner. They start writing blogs during the formative years of eBay about problems and challenges with eBay and certain sellers, like just certain bad things eBay does, how their algorithm doesn't work certain time, their search is bad, they change certain things, how they've screwed certain sellers. They're just putting these messages out that are true to people in the world. eBay has an internal security team designed to protect their executives at functions. But this security team begins to warp. Over the years, it starts to get more and more militant. And they start deciding that it is their core mission to take down enemies of eBay within and without. This is a real story. And so
I do like
a
that.
stalking scandal begins where they decide it is their mission to shut down Ina and David Steiner from publishing their blog. And so they begin a multi-year harassment campaign where they mail threatening deliveries to them like live cockroaches, a bloody pig's head mask, and a funeral wreath.
They're just trying to get unwelcome people out.
Okay.
And I'm loving the background color of that page.
That's an interesting, that's a really interesting take on it. I would probably disagree with you, but I'll find out in a second. I'm sorry. So anyway, this goes on for years and years and years, and they sue, and they are just being punished by eBay until finally the resolution is that happened today that they were awarded a massive, massive win, a $54 million settlement that not only makes eBay pay for all the harassment, but sends some eBay people to jail because what they did is literally illegal in multiple years of harassment. So I want to know what you guys think, but first, wow.
I think there's nothing wrong with the executives of that company promoting eBay first.
No, totally. What were you talking about? I might have to go here in a second. Could you, read one more story to me. I'm sorry, continue. That
was your story.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying? What did you think about this?
Biga. He got you.
We're ending on a strong one, guys. I'm realizing we got 3 of mine. I think Pikachu's the wrong color.
What? Are you just a racist?
I'm Nick Fuentes.
You're Pikachu.
How'd you know? How'd you know?
I'm Bush right after hearing about 9/11. How do I present the story? This was tough. This was tough, bro. Well, you wrote that one, Doug?
Yeah, these are all mine.
I like that Bush is in there twice. You guys have any real thoughts on the story? It's kind of fucking crazy. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, eBay first, bro. All right, now I'll get the
I've read a lot of the story. I can tell you more about it, but you can tell me if you have any questions.
$53 million and people who worked at eBay go to jail.
I actually feel pretty cool about that. It's an honest point. It took a long time, though.
Wait, was this like security guards? Who are the fucking lunatics
So,
who are doing this?
That part of the story is crazy. They got this security guard who's like ex-CIA, and he's just super into it. And over time, he slowly fired every member of the security staff and hired them with young blonde women who were like on contract work, so they were afraid to be fired. And he called them, I think his name was Bill's Angels. Okay? That's an interesting point, Pikachu.
Finally getting some different viewpoints on this show.
I know. Well, I never thought about what Pikachu would say about some of these things. And that's honestly a good point. The friendship was the power inside that we needed the whole time. No, but he runs this, and everyone that works for him is afraid because he fires women constantly to hire new ones. And so they end up just doing whatever he says, and he ends up asking them to like send horses' heads and harass people. And he thinks he's an insane person.
You ask Aiden to do stuff like that sometimes.
Has Ludwig gotten those packages yet? I've been telling Aiden to send.
They go to a forwarded address.
Some guy has been getting. Yeah. So anyway, I guess good for them because they literally have been dealing with like 18 years of harassment and they finally got the lifelong payout that I don't think e-commerce Bytes was going to give them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So that guy went to jail presumably then.
No, I don't think so. I think honestly, the woman I think the jail time's still being meted out. The payment has been. The only woman who's guaranteed going to jail is the woman who worked for him, who's like 24 years old and admitted to everything. She confessed. So that kind of fucking sucks.
But you hope that it continues to go up.
Yeah, I think it goes up. I think she's admitting on what he did, and so it should go up. But yes. Insane story.
They were litigating for 10, like
it was
over 10 years.
Very long trial. Yeah,
like they started in the trial started in 2012 or started in 2002.
No. They started the blog in 2002. eBay harassed them for many years. I think the trial started closer to 2019 or right before COVID, but it's been many years.
Not to be Aiden's fence sitter character again. It doesn't feel like it just takes 7 years to be like, hey, that was wrong. You shouldn't send horse heads to people. Like,
yeah,
it's like
I don't
7
know
years
why
is
it took
a
so
long
long.
time.
It's a insane. I think eBay had a very well-staffed team of lawyers.
I'm sure there's nuance here.
Some people grow up in families where they send horse heads to each other, and it's considered a sign of respect, and have we considered?
Are you nuance guy again, or are you Pikachu?
Yeah, I'm just nuance.
Because Pikachu also talks like this.
It's actually the same character. Well, if you want to hear a story about long lawsuits, I did have a little update on the European Union fining Google. So recently, for a breach in EU rules over preferential treatment in search results, the EU has fined Google about $1 billion, $890 million euros.
I heard about this because I heard Trump said they're stealing from our companies. Europe is trying to steal from our companies.
Yeah. He basically said this is like an unfair tax on American companies that are like performing well. But the issue is that Google is supposedly treating shopping, hotel, transport, and sport results listings, like prioritizing their own versions of those over third-party listings on the site, and like not giving equivalent opportunity for those to like rise in search results.
Is there an example? What's something that Google has that?
I mean, for like, so Google has a built-in hotel surfacing like UI and like price comparison and like price checker, right? If you Google
Best hotels Vienna or something, it's gonna give me a Google.
You'll get like Google's version of that. Or if you're into sports, if you Google like sports standings, you'll often get Google's version of sports data over like embedded into the search result, but you would have to go and like click into ESPN's or like do something else like that, right? So they're prioritizing their own like first party products, and they are getting fined because this does break a US rule. And I thought an EU rule. And something I thought was interesting about this is in the Reuters article that I was initially looking at about this, it was covering like the history of them being fined. And I did recall from like the late 2010s that they were getting hit with huge fines around then, and then like navigating those, the appeal process of those things. And I think just within the past, like, I think since 2017, they have been fined like $10 billion by the European Union.
So maybe they are just trying to.
So I think they're unfairly attacking some American companies. The thing that is kind of interesting here is that the length of time it takes for these payments to take effect. Now, in the case of these EU fines, this is a significant amount of money, like no matter how you cut it. When you're talking about finding a company for billions of dollars, at the end of the day, it does matter to them. And they're going through
that's data center money. You can't be taking money from Google when they got to buy data centers.
No, you can't interrupt that. And it takes years to actually get paid. So just recently, for I think the fine that they got hit with in 2017 and then the one in 2018, they have just gone through the final appeal for those and paid them as of like the last 2 years. So the one got paid last year and then one got paid very recently. And that comes to like just short of like 5 billion euros. And then what happens when these cases hit or these fines hit is it kind of opens up precedent for individual companies to sue Google and then increase the amount of damages they're seeking, or shore up precedent in the case they're pursuing. So an example of this is Price Runner, which is owned by Klarna. Actually won, this is my Nordic fun fact of the week.
Okay.
They won almost $2 billion in US dollars in damages in a Swedish court because instead of like surfacing their product equally on Google search results, this like price tracker and price comparison tool sued Google in Stockholm and like won this gigantic case. The issue with these like individual lawsuits is like, even though these companies like are finding like room to win, Google, they're often like seeking less money than like the EU is able to like fine for. And then because like this example is like one of the largest cases. And then Google can just like drag out the process for much, much longer. So even like the Klarna spokesperson that was commenting on this win is like, yeah, we're pumped that we won in principle. But the reality is this like amount in damages will not be paid for, it could be like 5 to 10 years because Google can just like continue to drag this out. And this is the kind of exchange is like, how effective is fining or suing Google for these large amounts of money when they can extend the appeals process over the course of such long periods of time. Like, basically stretching it across 10 years and making it like this dispersed cost of business rather than...
I guess it depends. I mean, losing $1 billion can't be good. But if it's,
Our government functioned just fine.
I
We just kicked the 35 trillion down the can forever.
true.
And then we just keep sending it mid. I don't know. Seems like
It's kind of
seems like
talking.
it'll work for
I
us.
don't think Google
it's-
has a money printer though, in the same way. I mean, Google Search is kind of a money printer.
Yeah. I mean, what was the total fee they had to pay?
So the recent one they got hit with is 890 million euros. And that is the most recent EU fine of the total of like almost 10 billion they have been fined by the European Union in the last 10 years. And those fines are more likely to be seen through. Like the EU laws that are used to fine them are usually pretty strong.
Yeah.
And even though Google can drag it out, they're relatively likely to win at the end of it. Only one, and it was one of the smaller ones, has of these EU fines has like gotten overturned in like the last.
I guess the
10
real
years.
question is then like,
But then the individual companies lawsuits, like these companies that see the fine and are like, our company can take individual action against Google. It's our time to sue them. Those are less likely to be successful, and they're more likely to be hurt through the long legal process that Google will drag out.
but like the ultimate question is, does Google make more money by ignoring these things and paying the fine and just stretching it out and keep doing what they're doing? Or are they forced to change? That's the size of the fine has to like make you want to stop, right? So I don't know. That's the real question. Because and the goal of this is to make them be more competitive, right? So they have to have more options and they can't favor themselves.
Yeah, I think like in the 2018 case that just got paid out, the EU was like, okay, when Android phones are like preloaded with Chrome and another app, that Google proprietary app, you're not letting people like pick their web browser of choice. You're like letting yours win from the jump.
Yeah, I got to imagine like owning the web browser of Europe is probably worth more than $1 billion or whatever this costs.
I mean, that one was for $4.5 billion, so
Maybe
it
they get
was
too big.
more.
That's a pretty big number.
Yeah.
Certainly a drag on.
For what easiest comparison number is what, a month ago now, 2 months ago, they sold stock to raise $80 billion. So there you go. They were, they were like, I think this year we'll just get $80 billion in cash so we can buy more data centers.
Yeah, but they're spending it all. I mean, I do think I saw Google.
It just feels like if of that 80 billion, they have to set aside 2 billion for lawsuits, they'll probably make it through okay. Like it does feel like it's still a fairly small amount of money overall.
I think it's really relevant though, because this is Google's free cash flow for the past 25 years of its business. You'll notice it's been gargantuan, and for the first time ever, it has turned negative. This is like actual money left over in their pocket after expenses after the quarter. So, it's Google for the longest time could probably shrug off fines no problem. They had infinite amounts of money coming in. I'd say this is the first quarter where it's like, oh, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, this is this is from the FT article on it, right? I think in the FT article, they're kind of emphasizing is like, okay, now this cost of doing business approach or mentality they might have been able to have for a long time, is this the tipping point where it changes towards the future? Because you're trying to like outspend all of your AI competitors.
This is the first time where like they are actually genuinely short of the cash, or there's pressure to spend all of this.
So
that's
that
interesting.
that $1
That's
billion
interesting.
USD you're getting hit for it, even if you're not going to pay it until like 6 years from now, it still means a lot.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they might have to change. I know that like when the EU did the lawsuit on Apple for the USB-C, they had to change. They changed. They didn't just pay that fine. And I remember also there's the lawsuit on privacy data, GDPR, they called it. And I remember being at NVIDIA at the time, and everybody had to scramble to change a bunch of software and things just because the EU did a fine. Like nobody wanted to ignore it.
Yeah.
Because it was such a big deal.
That was crazy. I remember GDPR. I was working at Smash GG at the time, and like we had to last minute change a bunch of
everybody
stuff.
had to like scramble.
I forget, is that the one where now every website ever I have to agree to cookies and I say no and everybody loves that? Is that that one?
I think that was the end game of it. And I do think the end game of some of these fines is going to be like,
obviously there's a lot more to GDPR, but
they're going to do the most bare bones
yeah,
count as competition, like whatever, it'll pop up. I don't know how they'll do it, but it's weird because a search result still has to pick a winner, right? What if the winner is Chrome? I don't understand. It's weird.
What is like the oversight of that process to make sure that you're fairly like who's judging the fairness of that process?
Yeah. One of the silly things when people criticize Chrome, I believe Sundar said this of like, this is when they were like in Congress during Joe Biden's administration being accused of political censorship, basically. And, Republicans are saying, you, Google, are making it so conservative viewpoints aren't easy to find and you're suppressing us and blah, blah, blah. And Sundar, I believe this was in his congressional hearing, said, we don't do that. We don't have anybody who's like there and is going to say, yeah, this topic gets boosted. This topic is going to be like pushed down. And then the counter argument, I think from like Naval or something, was that's the entire purpose of Google, is to rank things to tell you what to search for. That is the product. What do you mean you don't rank it? I mean, even if it's not a person picking topics day to day, there's not like a guy shuffling papers and deciding what appears. Like, that is fundamentally what a search engine is. So it's like, of course you're prioritizing things in some way.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know what the argument is on like whether or not, if it's entirely driven by user preferences and data, like what they click on the most.
Yeah, that's the argument of like, we're just giving what people want to see. But then you are making the algorithm that determines that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's chicken and egg, right? Because once it's big enough, that's how people get their opinion.
And they're right that there's not a guy who's sitting there going, yes, more Joe Rogan today. Like, that's not how it works.
It's an algorithm they've created.
But they software engineered an algorithm. Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting.
You know what else? Interesting company?
Yeah,
SpaceX.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay.
Quite an interesting week.
Perry, I sent you a video, and this is just some space footage just to get people excited while I say a bunch of numbers. The SpaceX IPO was a month ago. Look at that rocket. Incredible. Now, just look at that rocket. Don't think too much about these numbers I'm about to say. IPO'd at $135 a share. By day 4, the SpaceX IPO shares cost $200. They had a valuation of $2.64 trillion. That is almost as much as AirPods and Nike combined, and Germany.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Actually, Perry, if you just pull up SpaceX stock, so they had 4 days that were just cooking. They were cooking. And Elon Musk became a trillionaire and peaked at $1.3 trillion net valuation. But then, as we'll see in a sec, over the last month, it has been plummeting. So 10 days ago, I mean, this is like a month ago that this launched, right? As of 10 days ago, they had to cancel their most recent like Starship launch. And as soon as they did that, stock drops 5% more. It goes down to $123 a share. So it's now officially below their initial offering. And at this point, the valuation of SpaceX is down to $1.63 trillion. This is as of, I think, about 10 days ago. But you can see it's gone down basically even more since then, which is just a crazy stat. In 1 month, they lost $1 trillion of valuation. So, short little update. This past Friday, a couple days ago, they do another Starship launch. That's the YouTube video that we had up very briefly. And they do successfully launch Starship, which is their, big new rocket. They get it into space. They get it to land. The booster also lands. They haven't tested reusability yet. The cool stuff where it lands on the matchstick and then it's ready to go. But they dropped it into the ocean. It was all very controlled. It went very well. And so this is the closest they've gotten to this world where they actually have a reusable giant rocket. And so again, the whole underpinning of the premise of SpaceX's value is, 1, they're a rocket company, and this is important to that. 2, they have Starlink, which is a genuinely great business that, in theory, this will allow them to send up more satellites. But then 3, it's space data centers, right? That's why they have supposedly are worth this valuation.
And Grok. They own Grok.
And Grok.
A revenue center for the future.
We will be able to run Grok in space if all things go well. So Starship is SpaceX's like giant literal moonshot project. It's also the one that is supposed to work with NASA to get to the moon, right? Like as soon as like next year or 2028. So this went well. They're still like a year behind, but they're at least getting closer to the idea of, we have Starship, a gigantic rocket that is reusable, which is like the thing underpinning any of their supposed valuation. So I think it's pretty interesting. There's some cool, various people saying, it seems like we peaked on tech stocks. This might have been the top. Like SpaceX's IPO is going to sort of precipitate the fall of everything. From Bernstein, Suckjohn analyst Douglas Harnan.
Suckjohn? Is his name?
No, the company is called Bernstein Sockgen.
Okay.
Sockgen.
Okay.
SOCGEN.
Okay. Probably not Suck John. If I had to guess.
Bernstein's been sucking John and reiterated, quote, that he thinks it's an outperform rating on SpaceX, insisting that the $107 stock is worth twice that. He pointed out this is the same ship they're gonna send to the moon. So
every single Wall Street analyst is saying this is a $200 stock pump.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy, and it keeps declining. And what's interesting, Douglas, is that on August 6th, like really soon, a massive, all this share trading and this decline has happened while there's only a tiny amount of the float, like 4% of the shares. And that is really conducive to a pump. And that got it for a few days, and it's declining. On August 6th, like another 28%, like a massive amount of the company. I don't know the number. You might have it in front
numbers. Currently, there's 639 million shares up for trading. By the end of this year, there's going to be 5.3 billion.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
It's going to increase.
Yeah, over August and then the next 3 months, there's like a massive amount of insider shares that suddenly dump on the market. And that is so much selling pressure on top of what already is down below its IPO price.
Think about this, George Bush. You just heard about 9/11. What about this?
This is
another
a tragedy.
tower hitting into your mental psyche.
We have to invade for 20 years. We have to do it.
We have to invade space. We got to send our ships into space.
There's no other solution than to send our troops into the Middle East for the next 20 years. Get Karl Rove on the phone.
I heard the moon's getting WMDs.
And do not double check the work of the inspectors.
Shame on you.
Fool
me twice.
Actually, you're more of a finance slut than I am.
Finance slut.
Would you say?
Finance slut on one of these cards?
Yeah. So in theory, if you know that the amount of shares is going to almost 10x over the next couple months, does that sort of force an almost like artificial suppression of the price because you know it's going to come out?
Yeah, it's happening right now. So all the employees that have millions and millions, $10, $20 million in SpaceX shares, they are very, very concerned about the short-term movements of the price before their lockup ends. Because if it drops a lot, they went from having $20 million when they actually sell to having 10 or 5 or what. It's a big difference. And so all of the employees have been doing what Mark Cuban did in the 2000s when he got his big stock payout and couldn't sell it quickly. And they're called basically like strangles. It's where you give up all you're basically selling an option that if the stock goes up, I have to give you the stock and I have to sell it at the price it is right now. So I get none of the upside if it goes up. But I'm buying a bet against SpaceX. They're buying a put option on SpaceX. This is all complicated option stuff, but basically almost all the employees are using these complicated webs to bet against SpaceX to save themselves from protection if the stock goes down so they can keep their amount. It's like they're covering their upside and their downside, just like it's strangle it. So you put it in one spot. And when they do that, the market makers who take that bet have to hedge the bet because they're never trying to actually make an actual bet. They're just trying to collect the middleman. So they hedge their bet by selling SpaceX stock. So even though they haven't yet sold, they're essentially selling early through this bet. And that is a lot of the reason why there's pressure early. So I don't know if on August 6th, it'll rapidly change things because everyone's already betting against. They're making it happen early almost. Everyone knows what's going to happen.
But in theory, some of the people who would be buying right now, who would be interested are like, I'm going to wait till this flood of new shares hits the market and then I'll start buying. And in theory, it could go back up.
It's quite possible that like people are worried about what could happen with this and they want everything to settle down.
Okay.
But it does seem like this was a elaborate scheme to pump things early and it has run out of steam pretty quickly. And the real loser of all this is not Elon Musk, who is still making ungodly amounts of money. Sorry, I'm having a stroke. It's Anthropic and OpenAI, who had other big IPO plans.
Yeah.
And this not doing well is a huge, IPOs are very momentum driven. They like to cluster together into like a frenzy, mania wave. If this one's doing badly a month in, it is such a dour effect on their IPOs. And they might even pull them or delay them. There's a real shot that OpenAI like tries to push it for a better moment. Because doing it now, there's a chance it just flops. Like people are afraid because of what happened with SpaceX. So anyway, interesting story. Yeah, I definitely think, it coincides with what's happening with Tesla, which Tesla had a pretty interesting earnings report where they said, listen, car revenue is probably the worst it's ever been. Like in terms of like profits, I'm sorry. They're actually selling a lot of cars, but the profits are the worst it's ever been. And they reported record profits, but the record profits comes because Tesla owns some shares of SpaceX and they booked that IPO bump as it's a one-time thing. But if you take that out, Tesla actually had one of their worst quarters ever, and so their stock is also getting cratered. So Elon Musk is only going to have a mere 500 to 600 billion. I don't know what he's at right now.
I can tell you. And it's been a fun episode, and I'm sorry to
Yeah.
drop something a little somber. From $1.3 trillion a month ago, he's now only $792 billionaire.
This is tragic. You hate to see it happen because
I thought he was different.
Well,
I
what
thought
do
he
you
was
mean?
different, and now he's the same as all them.
No.
You know?
This is the hero's journey. You have to fail and
to
go to
claw
rock
back.
bottom so that you can find your way back to the top.
That's true.
Right? $1 trillion doesn't feel earned unless you really had to go through the doldrums in the 800 millions.
He's barely
billions.
richer than he was before SpaceX IPO'd. It's a tragedy. He put in all that work.
He did work really hard.
It's so fucked up. And I just don't, like, I know that for you and I, we could probably feed our families on this amount, but he has a lot of kids.
And really, he thinks of all of us as his children.
So it's just like, I don't
loves
know if he
humanity.
can afford. You see what grocery prices are lately?
I mean, they're high.
They're high.
They're high.
So I don't know about that. Yeah, interesting strides. Definitely the big
Hey,
news.
but if you just love space, good news is that the people who actually run SpaceX and do rockets, like, they're making progress. We're getting closer. And, again, part of us getting to the moon with the NASA program that we talked about with Mark Kelly requires this Starship to be not only reusable, but also testing mid-orbit refueling, which they're supposed to do with the Apollo capsule next year, although timelines are sort of shifting. So if you're just stoked about space and moon stuff, this is actually a really good step towards that. Stock price is kind of its own funny thing going on.
I think SpaceX is a cool company that is all this stuff around it. That's weird.
Gwynne Shotwell, who runs it, apparently is like a badass, and I heard nothing but good things from the people I spoke with who worked at SpaceX. So the people doing all the work right now, like, are great. That's everything
Well,
I've heard.
the rocket doesn't make any money right now. It's literally like you said, a moonshot business. They make their money off Starlink.
Yeah.
That's basically it. They have a couple contracts for the thing, and all of this combined for $2 trillion, whatever, is insane. Doesn't make any sense. What's the next story?
Ooh.
Oh, you got?
Tell me. You got a little something.
What?
What's been going on with old Mitch? He's playing shy.
Oh,
He's been a little coy.
Dude. Okay, so the update on Mitch McConnell is that he has not been seen in now officially 43 days. He has not shown up. No official communication. There was one photo that is, pretty suspect, but whatever.
Oh.
That's it.
That was clean.
It could be. I actually
That was a
don't
clean
know.
photo.
That's the point, is we don't know.
Now let me clear up some
Yeah.
communications.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any job. Like, this is fine, right?
So he's actually the senator of Kentucky. And so
Like, in America?
in America, American Senator Mitch McConnell is supposed to be voting on things that help our government function. And he has just not shown up nor given any communication to anyone for 44 days. And so now the governor of Kentucky, who is a Democrat, Andy Beshear, is demanding that he justify his weeks-long unexplained absence from Congress or he resigns. So he's put out this open letter. He's basically saying, listen, the people of Kentucky are owed an answer. Yes, the rules say that senators can do this, which is kind of crazy. I think I got the specifics. Senators can, every member of Congress can essentially go on paid medical leave for as long as they want, whenever they want.
That's so
See?
cool that we have
With
universal
zero justification
universal
and
healthcare
zero-
and unlimited
And
time off for our senators. That's so
Finally,
sick.
Because I'm tired of people coming for this guy's head when he's doing something that is completely above board.
he does not have to prove that he can walk, talk, or think coherently, and he still gets paid this full time. So theoretically, he could do this for years. I mean, there's no, the idea is that before 2024, the governor of Kentucky could call a special election to replace him. But because the only Democrat in all of the government of Kentucky is the governor, Andy Beshear, the rest of the state legislature in 2024 passed a law removing his ability to do that, almost anticipating this problem. So he cannot get rid of Mitch McConnell. He cannot call a new special election. And so Mitch could be dead. I mean, that's really a story if he's dead. I assume maybe he's just incapacitated, but he is not responding to anything. And people are coming out and saying, oh, I had a conversation with him, but there is nothing on the record. There is nothing said. There's nothing.
That's how I want to go out. Like, my
In a
friends and
44
family
day long.
not hearing from me for weeks.
Yeah.
Just a long period of unknown.
Just to show him.
Yeah. Just exert control one last time.
Because it says you can't.
Yeah, I'm addressing this letter to Senator Mitch McConnell under the assumption that he's capable of reading and responding verbally, and if he's not incapacitated by means of consciousness or cognition. If you're unable to respond for either of those conditions, consider this letter a demand for his Senate staff to be honest and transparent with people of Kentucky, which is funny because that's all he can ask for. He can't even ask him to resign. He just wants him to be honest and transparent so maybe we can get a public pressure movement. It's crazy.
I think that the thing I keep thinking is I don't think he's dead because surely
it would be crazy to weaken to Bernie's
leak.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just ridiculous for a senator to die and then presumably be in a space where some amount of people know that. Surely that leaks.
I agree with you. I agree with you but it's funny because nothing has leaked.
Yeah.
Like, even if he's like unwell or he has just completely gone off the grid. He's a senator that we cannot ascertain or see footage of or talk to or hear about. It's like really odd when you look into the story more. And I do think there is motive for in some ways to just downplay this or not do anything that would lose him his seat. Because since Lindsey Graham's death, the voting math on what's going on in Congress is very, very razor thin. And so his vote, I believe, matter, or him getting replaced could matter. This is like, it's just getting to the point where a Mitch McConnell absentee dead vote is going to matter a lot.
I thought he was like retiring at the end of this year, though, right?
Right.
So if there was a special election, would that person only work to the end of the year?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay,
I do not know. It's a good question. All I know is that there is a motivation I think the motivation could be just personally you don't want to appear as degraded mentally or physically, but
yeah,
it is a weird story, especially as Lindsey Graham died during these 44 days, which is like a reminder of
it's so strange. The much younger and healthier relative to Mitch McConnell. What a strange.
I guess it depends on the state, but basically there isn't just an automatic party replacement necessarily from.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So in 2024, previously, if there was somebody who's incapacitated, the governor could just appoint a temporary senator until the next election. Now he is not allowed to do that. They must hold a special election, which will likely go to a Republican because it's Kentucky.
Huh?
Yep.
How old is he?
Mitch McConnell? He's spry, dude. Almost... He's a whopping.
Oh, he's 84.
84 years young.
Can I say something crazy? He's younger than I thought he was.
Pelosi's 86, bro. Man, we got some old fucking people in government.
My grandpa's 87. He's still pretty chipper.
How old's Trump's 80?
Yeah.
Or
like around.
There's like, it's crazy that Trump is 80 and he could be the young one in some meetings. Oh, he could be literally like 5 to 6 years younger than
80 years old. So sick.
Schumer 75. Dude, we have
75. Jesus.
Yeah, we got some old ones. But you know what? It's that age comes wisdom.
Oh.
One of the characters was a boomer with 3 paid off houses who wants you to pull yourself out of your bootstraps, but we didn't get that.
One more story. This is about YouTube's AI content policy. Yes, YouTube is having an AI problem like many others.
Yeah, it is. It's very annoying. I look on YouTube in the fields that I like to look at, which is like history and economics and politics. And there's a fucking wave of basically repackaged Wikipedia articles with an AI voice that have a pretty interesting title and thumb. And I click them and I realize instantly that I'm watching a faceless AI slop YouTube channel tell me what Wikipedia would say.
Yep.
Yep.
So what is YouTube doing about this? Well, let's hear from one of the head of policy creators. You pull this up, Perry. Here's a little bit from the VP of Trust and Safety on YouTube.
AI can actually allow people to make a lot of videos. Sometimes those videos are great and it really enhances creativity, and you can create a higher volume of high quality content that we want to encourage and have in YPP. But that exact same new tool can allow you to make lots of videos really quickly that are very similar. They're very generic and don't really have a narrative arc and don't really show your creativity. So the same technology.
What the hell was that? Wait, what happened? That was AI?
So while explaining the problems with AI, the editors of this video deep faked them into various fruit costumes.
Wait, that was great. Well, play it again.
Yeah, no, this is talking about their policy on YouTube, and they did a cheeky little...
Wow, that is insane. I didn't know it was that.
For audio
advanced.
listeners, we're watching two people. Dude, that means his arm right there was entirely AI generated.
Yeah,
like his
right.
bare
Everything
arm.
below his face would have to be.
Oh, look at his... Is his skin there messed up?
Wow,
That's
that's
like
actually
his
spooky.
skin. Yeah, so they thought it'd be a cheeky thing in their video explaining AI policy to have the two speakers, including the VP of like trust and safety, be defaked into fruit costumes every couple frames. It's kind of wild. And so
Insane timing on when he's talking about that problem.
yeah, bizarre to be
That's
to be like
really
this is the
bizarre.
time to do a cheeky thing.
Well, you could argue that the video became higher quality.
There's nuance, is what you're saying.
So, look, I would love to sit here and say they're really cracking down on AI content because it's clearly causing
They're
some
clearly
problems.
not based on his answer there.
So here is what the answer is. This is a week or two ago now. I was going to mention this last week. We didn't have time. So YouTube has come out and basically said, we are not changing our policies, but we're clarifying our policies because people are starting to abuse it. And our key goal is, quote, you have to upload original and authentic content. So here are the policies that already exist, but they made this video specifically to call out to be like, hey, we're going to get stricter on these. One, videos are not supposed to be, quote, generic and repetitive. So videos that are basically just the same, like content farms, where it's just a moderately changed thing, and they're just flooding YouTube with endless, basically
This is
AI
kind of bad
videos.
for Ludwig's Amazon streams. I don't have
A little bad for Ludwig streams. Bad.
You don't even. I hate Amazon streams.
How is that going
Actually-
to fund mogul moves if he has to upload one of those
I
every
mean, the
month?
yard, they talk about pee and poo every week.
Yeah,
You know,
are they
like-
going to filter
Yeah.
that out? Is
Yeah.
that going to be?
No, because we kind of do it different every week.
What's funny, they've only made 5 episodes, and the AI got enough training data.
Just trained it.
Number 2 is distressing or off-putting. So if you're trying to get views by being emotionally manipulative, and he gives the example of videos that show animals in distress or like minors in situations of distress. So apparently a new category of videos that are starting to cause problems on YouTube are people using AI, not even in those like crazy cartoon videos, but just to make up fake like distressing scenarios
No,
to
it's
get
all
people
over
to
Facebook,
click.
bro.
Yeah.
They put like cat in trouble or something, and
Yeah.
then someone saves it, and then all the boomer comments are like, finally a good American or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just do like high intensity emotional situations.
Wait, and they're going to get rid of those?
The quality of that's fucking crazy.
They
though.
are saying this is, again, they're not changing the policy, but they're like, hey, this is our policy. You need to be aware of this because they're clearly implying they're going to get stricter because this is now being
I
abused.
hope they do, bro.
I really hope they do. And the third one, which I didn't even realize was an issue, is AI personas, which is where a human creates an AI persona that talks about sensitive topics like finance, legal, or healthcare. So it's not just AI voiceovers, it's people like this who, ironically, if you pull this up, I tried to find this, and the best thing I could find, this is a video about how to make your own AI influencer who is
Buy an AI
all
influencer?
AI.
Dude, we're through the fucking looking glass, bro. Can you imagine 3 years ago talking about this? This is like so insane how fast this is moving.
So there are now AI influencers that are making channels teaching other people how to make AI influencers.
If your character doesn't actually look and feel real, the whole thing falls apart.
And so
I spent the last couple of months
Oh,
testing
did you?
out different methods.
Did
to
you
figure
test
out
it?
exactly how to build AI
30
influencers
seconds generating
that
this?
not only look real, but stay consistent across hundreds of posts.
Okay, so this is the kind of update from YouTube. They are trying to call this stuff out specifically, and people are making these AI influencers not just for innocuous things, but now for things like talking about healthcare and politics and stuff. And YouTube is basically saying like, we are going to be more aggressive. Are they gonna like go after these people? No, they're just not gonna monetize it. They're saying you're gonna be booted out of the YouTube Partner Program. Which, to be fair,
It's
is
the same thing. I mean,
it's the same
They're not
thing.
going to make it if it doesn't get monetized.
Right. The only incentive to do this, quote, what he said, we are agnostic to the tools that are used to make the content. So you're explicitly not saying you cannot make AI videos. It's you have to follow these things, you know, not generic, repetitive, and abusing all this stuff. So that I thought was interesting.
It's weird, man, because like Spotify, for example, found out that if they create a separate shell company that creates easy listening AI music and then lists it in their own playlists, they can avoid having to pay a lot of money out to human creator. Like they could just literally, because a lot of humans will put that on a playlist and they don't know it's not AI, and
it's because the way Spotify revenue works is they pay out artists as a share of listening time. So like a set amount of revenue comes in every month, and then it's not based on like your quantity of streams. It's how your streams stack up against the rest of the site. Like what little sliver of the pie chart of listening did your streams take up? And if they can flood the platform over time with more and more AI music that they own, then they get a larger and larger take home of the pie chart of revenue every month.
And they said they weren't doing this the whole time, but it came out that they did. And so it does feel like, I wonder what YouTube would, I mean, they don't want to do it now because it's not them creating it, but it would be interesting to see what YouTube would do if they could have creators that they own that are uploading AI generated stuff, and they could just not have to pay them out.
And then
I don't know. I think like if I'm a young man, I'm like 15, I got a side hustle, I'm making the most emotionally moving AI cat videos where like some guy swoops in and like saves him from getting run over by a car. Yeah. Why can't I fucking monetize that? Why can't I monetize that and upload maybe 4 or 5 of them a day?
100 of them.
Yeah. Okay, so while looking into this, I found what I thought was a pretty fun example. Perry, if you pull this up, one of the people doing this is recent, this happened in 2025, got in trouble because their name is True Crime Case Files. And they uploaded fully AI fake true crime videos, which are incredibly popular on YouTube. And so this one, quote, or this is the name of the video, was called "Husband's Secret Gay Love Affair with Stepson Ends in Grisly Murder." This got so many...
You have the last part. True crime documentary in parentheses.
Yeah. True crime documentary from the channel True Crime Case Files. So dude, this is
so
fully made up video.
This is so cooked. How many views does this have?
No, it got taken down, but at the time it got so popular and got so many millions of views and is about Colorado that Colorado journalists started looking into this because they were getting complaints from viewers saying, why didn't you ever cover this? This is a crazy story.
Fucking cooked.
And so here in Denver Post, they're like, this is all fake. None of this is real. And so NPR, turns out they did an interview with the creator of this channel, and there's some wild things where he justifies this and says, like, he used to make other AI videos and then eventually realized that true crime is really, really popular. And then he said, this is to NPR, at the end of the day, true crime, no matter how much it's dressed up as, we care about the victims or this is finding justice, it's a form of entertainment. NPR. Yeah, but I mean, if you're so critical of true crime and if it's causing all these problems in the world, why are you making it? John, I'm creating an alternative to it because this way people can have all the luridness they want, but it's not hurting people. So I see myself as sort of like the vegan alternative to true crime.
What the hell does that mean?
That makes complete sense.
Do they think other true crime journalists are doing the crimes to create it? That's not how it works.
I do. Hold on. And I hate to bring out the nuance guy. I hate to bring him out.
You hate to bring out the nuance Pikachu.
I think he's doing this for money.
Oh my God.
I think he's doing this. You drew the wrong one.
I'm ready to
he's obviously just doing this for money because he even copped to it. He's like, I tried a bunch of different stuff until I got something that just hit. But is this not like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of true crime. I think it's sort of inherently problematic.
Right, there's a nuance to it, but you're saying
if you're creating, is this not better than like actual true crime content in a sense?
I would argue the negative effects of true crime, which has been shown. If you watch a lot of that stuff, you think crime is worse than it is, even though crime has nationally been going down. People who consume a lot of this stuff. So it's like not good for your mental psyche. The fact that the crime never happened doesn't matter. You're still watching stuff that is making you believe that there's this enormous amount of crime happening everywhere. In 2025, the channel got shut down, and according to YouTube, which NPR reached out to, they had deleted his channel not because they were made by AI or that he lied about them being true, but because it was violating policies prohibiting child sexual exploitation. So some of the made up stories were too risque, not the problem that he was making AI content that was false.
Strange.
And so to cap this off, I tried to go see, is this still a thing? And there is now a new channel called Unreal True Crime, where the cases are so shocking they feel almost unbelievable, but they're real. And they have the same names. They have the exact same things. There's literally the same, husband with gay whatever.
They just flood the platform. It's even if one is a flop, they just make 100 million until one of them gets human brain stupid.
Yeah.
They make 2 of these a week and they say that it is not AI. I looked at it. It's like, we use AI for our voiceover. Yeah. But all of the story is original from our team. And I'm like, I don't fucking think it is. I don't think you're making 2 40-minute true crime documentaries a week that are all fake and have the same titles as these other people. It looks like they deleted the gay one.
They could be
like
real
the gay husband
in that
one.
They could just feed another true crime documentary into the thing and say generate. That's the problem with this stuff is that I don't know. It's fucking up YouTube for me. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I think I feel like I stumble even if it's not an AI voiceover. I feel like I'm encountering that genre of video essay where they like weirdly repeat their points over and over, and they could just be bad writers.
Yeah,
and that's a problem in itself.
Yeah,
it's a hard time to be a bad writer.
But
everybody thinks you're just AI.
Oh, true. Yeah. Hard to be someone who likes hyphens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty screwed.
Yeah. I think this is, what's frustrating about it is I don't have a clear solution in front of me. In any platform where the content is user submitted, the tools to defend against this right now feel so limited. And it's weird because pretty much everybody agrees that this is something that makes the platforms worse. Nobody really wants to like consume these things once they find out what they are. I feel like maybe I'm in my own bubble. Maybe there is just a bunch of people who are above the age of 50 in Florida commenting on AI cat videos on Facebook that are like,
they fucking love it.
AI cat videos are fucking great. And but I feel like it waters down the quality of the platform, and you don't have faith in what you're consuming.
I've seen my dad scroll reels, and he gets some AI shit there, and it's no different reaction to him. He enjoys it all the same.
It's all the same.
But does he know it's AI? I do think if people, for example, with this true crime, I do not think this channel would be successful at all. And also that channel I just highlighted.
Right, if it said this is fake.
This is fake, right? Like so much of this. And that's where I think, YouTube is walking a weird line. I wish they were a little stricter, but they are at least saying very clearly distressing or off-putting content that is created by AI that's meant to be emotionally manipulative is going to be demonetized. And the fake true crime should fit in that. Right. So in theory, it will improve, but we have to see how strict YouTube actually gets with this.
You know what I've been doing? I'm a fucking hypocrite, dude. I'm a fucking hypocrite because I have been watching AI generated content lately. I listen to AI generated Swedish conversations in the car to practice language.
Yeah.
So is this like a YouTube channel?
Like if you look, it's a bunch. If you look up, what did I search the first time? I looked up like Svenska conversation on YouTube. And a lot of these videos are like fake, like a single AI generated image of like kind of a Pixar looking character, an anime looking character with like automated audio and subtitles. And it's like slow paced conversations. And I'm listening to them right now because I'm trying to just work on like language recognition basically. And the pace at which these videos deliver language right now is consumable to me. Like I'm just trying to, it's hard for me when I listen to, like sometimes I listen to this TV show called Bonus Family. And it's really dialogue heavy, but people speak quickly and it's hard for me to understand right now. So I've been listening to these videos because I can understand a lot of them. And it's like a whole genre of language content on YouTube that I wasn't aware of. And I've been listening to them in the car because I'm practicing. And maybe I'm a big old fat hypocrite.
I guess,
This isn't, I wouldn't call this art though. Like I have a very utilitarian consumption of this.
This is a person saying, look, we recognize there's people who want a large amount of generated conversations to practice at a certain level. And that feels different than, hey, we are going to abuse people's emotions by making fake stories that are intentionally going to swamp out other things.
No, I think it's the same thing as generative.
There is no nuance on this one.
You know,
Yeah, it's interesting. This one doesn't annoy me as much because based on the thumbnail, like everything about it, you know what you're getting into.
yeah.
But I find it so frustrating that there's so many attempting to pass themselves off. I saw one. This one really pissed me off. There was a history channel covering like interesting battles in history, and they opened everything and they had the description by saying this was not made with AI, but I am quite positive it was. And there's nothing that stops you from saying that.
Yeah.
There's nothing from stopping you from just going like, this is all human created. And like, for most people, that's all they need to hear. The guilt is out of their mind, and then it's just annoying. And last thing I'll say on this, because we're about to close, we're a little long. Do you guys remember the recent Kentucky primary where Thomas Massey lost to Ed Gallring? Did you know about that story? Well, Ed famously ran some AI ads that showed Thomas Massey in a throuple with AOC and Ilhan Omar, and like catching them in like black and white photos, like going out to dinner together and like saying he's a secret super woke lib. And it turns out, I mean, everyone criticized those ads when they happened, but now that it's been since the primary and he lost, there are studies into old people in Kentucky who voted, and many of them report in surveys they thought it was real. They're like, oh, I thought that was a real.
Christ.
And that's fucking crazy. They literally thought that they caught him in a throuple with AOC and Ilhan. And that it swayed their vote on which Republican to vote for because they're Republican voters. And I think it's just like we are through the looking glass on some crazy fucking things. But
that's
anyway, what do you
awesome,
think
man.
Pikachu would say about that? What do you think Pikachu would say about that news story as we close out our show?
Be
sure to check out our Patreon if you're interested in a full hour of this episode where all three of us will just be a Pokemon and give no other commentary.
This is a soft launch of
George
our Pokemon
Bush
podcast.
after learning about 9/11, but it's Pikachu.
Yep.
And the towers were both Pikachu.
Yeah. That's sad. That's sad to think about, Doug.
But Osama bin Laden's a human.
But with a Pokeball. Guys, thanks for watching our show. We'll see you next week and a bonus hour on Patreon if you want to watch it right now. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody. Bye.